Hello, my lovelies. Happy Wednesday. Happy scoping out. So glad you're here. We're talking about procrastination. What to do when willpower doesn't work, because it rarely does. This is a big one lately. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the seasonal change. I know here in Colorado we're having some really nice weather. People are kind of getting into this pattern of avoidance. And a lot of people have come to me going, oh my God, I know what I'm supposed to do and I just keep putting it off. The high priority item ends up taking last priority over the lowest priority item on my list. Well, you know, you're not alone. There's this little psychological thing we do in psychology terms. It's called akrasia, A-K-R-A-S-I-A. I actually really like that term simply because it destigmatizes the word procrastination a little bit. And all it means is that we value our right now self a lot more than we value our future self. Because right now, if you're on a diet, that ice cream tastes a lot better than that grilled mahi-mahi, right? Like right now, it's available in a bucket and I can eat it and it's completely available. I get to do that. It was called akrasia. Doesn't that sound better? Like procrastination, we just immediately make it mean something bad. And what happens is when we emotionally attach ourselves, especially through that negative lens, which remember, we're pre-wired for, we can't help it, we haven't done anything wrong. It's called negativity bias. We notice what isn't working. So what happens is we attach this emotional response to what is a very natural psychological habit that we all have. We haven't done anything wrong. And yet we immediately go into this fight with ourselves. We immediately end up in this battle with ourselves and trying to willpower our way through it. And you can do that for a while. But let me tell you, if you're willpowering your way through a rough spot in your marriage at the same time that you're willpowering your way through some diet or exercise changes, at the same time you're willing your way through some management changes at work, and at the same time you're trying to willpower your way through starting that new thing that actually you want to do on the side. If you're doing all of these things, your willpower is only going to stretch so far. Something's got to give, right? And then we go, I know I'd be happier if I started that side thing. I know that's my passion. I know that's my purpose, and I just won't do it. I'm a freaking moron, right? We go through this little story telling ourselves that we're not good enough. We're not doing enough fast enough. We're falling short of ourselves somehow. Wherever that willpower ends up running out, we tell ourselves we are not enough. How on earth are you going to do more while you inherently believe you're already not enough? How on earth are you going to do differently if you inherently believe that you don't have what it takes? You end up being in this fight with yourself about who you are, what you're capable of, what you can bring to the table. And then on top of that, you end up telling yourself, oh, I always do this. I don't know why I bother. This is just what I do. I can't follow through on anything. So you can see how willpower eventually is not going to work anyway. So what do? Well, the problem is that underlying story, right? The problem is your thoughts about procrastination. Your problem is this arbitrary meaning that you've assigned yourself and your patterns and your previous endeavors. I guarantee you, if you got really honest with yourself and you really looked deeply for every instance where you can find that you did procrastinate, you would be able to find at least one, if not more, instances where you didn't procrastinate. Did you get your ass out of bed this morning? You didn't procrastinate. Did you get your ass to work on time or close to? You didn't procrastinate. Did you eat lunch, get the kids fed? Did you get gas in your car before you ran out? You didn't procrastinate. You are looking at this much evidence that says you procrastinate. Do you sometimes? Absolutely you do. I just got done telling you it's a psychological phenomenon. It happens. We all do it, right? But you're looking at this much evidence for where you procrastinate. That's a lot. Okay, yeah, it's a good chunk, right? And you're ignoring this much evidence. You're ignoring this much that says you actually have your shit together. You actually do a really good job of getting stuff done. Maybe it doesn't happen, dinner's not on the table right at 6 p.m. every night, but does it get on the table? Does everybody get fed before they starve to death? Yes. But you don't count the wins. You don't go and you don't define your story about self-value, about self-worth, about patterns and habits and your ability to show up for yourself, to change, to duty, to responsibility, to purpose. You don't redefine that to yourself based on the ways that you're already really kicking ass in life. So what do you think I'm going to say about procrastination and overcoming it without using willpower? Change your story, change your thoughts, change your focus. Not going to happen overnight. And if you are really bad at procrastinating, it's not going to happen in the next 10 minutes. You'll procrastinate that too. Because it's hard, right? Not a priority. But eventually you'll get back to it. Eventually that procrastination habit that you think you have will get painful enough that you go, I've got to change this. I've got to refocus. I've got to start paying attention to where I do things right. I've got to stop beating up myself constantly for what I perceive to be failures. When in all honesty, what does it mean when we procrastinate? We've given ourselves a chance to practice not procrastinating. We've given ourselves a chance to practice having some freaking grace with ourselves. We've given ourselves the chance to practice leaning on a team, maybe. Asking for help, maybe. Whatever our personal work is, we've just given ourselves the chance to practice our personal work. What's so bad about that? That's a good thing. That's how we get better at those things, right? So what are the steps? What do you do to stop procrastinating? Number one, simply observe. As much as you can remove the judgment, remove the judgment. I love the term acrasia because it takes away all that emotional attachment to procrastination is bad. It takes it completely off the table. So I think, oh, there's that acrasia again, right? No judgment. Notice it, but don't judge it. I guarantee you, if all you did was step one, if all you did was remove the judgment, you find yourselves naturally going through the motion and getting to that place where you do the thing. And it happens much simpler and much faster with just step one. But there's more. So you start by noticing, there's my pattern. Is it a pattern? So then you question it, right? Step two is you question. You notice, you question. Really? I've shared this with you before. This comes out of the F.A.I.L to Win tools, right? And, oh, that's coming up in March. Make sure you go to my website and sign up. Freaking amazing. Early bird pricing is still available right now. But then you question it. You find that, make the observation, you question it. Really? Do I always procrastinate? Is that really my pattern, right? And then you go out and you find proof. You find proof for what is also true. Yes, I procrastinate sometimes, right? I procrastinate that much. Got it. What else is true? I also don't procrastinate this much. Okay, where? Start getting really specific and don't keep it broad. And if you can do it, if you have the time, get out a piece of paper and write it down. Write down all of the very specific evidence you have for the ways that you don't procrastinate. Now, this is a practice, right? This is something that you get better at over time, but I'm going to tell you something that I've really noticed for me personally, because I'm not immune to this stuff, right? I procrastinate. I experience acrasia. I do. And what I'm noticing is that now that I've gotten, oh, here's my kitty. Now that I've gotten really good at just noticing without that judgment, the time it takes me to get to my task at hand is probably cut in half now. Whatever that time is, depending on the task, it's cut in half. And by the time that I do get to the actual activity that I'm supposed to do, my mind is free. I can actually create. I can be present to the work because I'm not sitting there berating myself. I'm not using up my brain bandwidth with self-flagellation. So everything goes more smoothly. And then at the end of that time, I have a very specific piece of proof at how I don't procrastinate. So you change your story. Change your thoughts, focus on the different proof. You notice, you question, you find proof, and you watch your energy. That's it. So notice, question, proof, and then notice some more. Give yourself some freaking credit, man. It's pretty simple. It's really simple. So you're going to go out and you're going to do this. That's your homework, is to practice this. Now remember, it is a practice. So when you fall off the wagon and you experience acrasia again, remember that all that means is it's an opportunity to practice getting back on the bandwagon, getting back on the focus, redefining your story, looking at the proof of how you're actually pretty phenomenal. So that's it for today. I'll see you next Wednesday, 8:30 Mountain Time. Or you can subscribe to this channel and never miss one of these. Give me comments, send me feedback, whatever it takes to get yourself working towards some of that inner peace it takes to really build massive success in your life. All right. Mystic says bye. Bye, everybody. Isn't she pretty?